Coming to you live from Dunning Field for the second game of our doubleheader. It's Ian, Nicholas, Chase, Pinkernell, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you the live action of the state playoffs. It's the SEAC Class L qualifying round, and the new Canaan Rams, ranked as the 13th seed in the tournament with a 10-7 record, are matched up with the 9-8 20 seed, a team they saw earlier in the year and they see plenty of as an FCAC opponent, the 9-8 Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. As before we bring it up to the booth here, want to pull up our state tournament graphic to get a bit of a look at the whole picture in Class L. As you see in the middle on the left side, New Canaan matched up with Ludlowe today, and the winner of today's game in the qualifying round will play on the road next Wednesday up against the 4th seed in the tournament, the Cheshire Rams. So again, the winner of this game will be New Canaan Ludlowe, and then most likely the winner of the Cheshire New Canaan Ludlowe game would be playing the 5 seed, the Wilton Warriors, at Wilton next Friday on the 5th. So Chase, it's an interesting bracket in New Canaan. If they win today and if they win against Cheshire on Wednesday, they could be seeing late next week the Wilton Warriors once again, the team that just bounced them in the FCAC championship game. You were there for the FCAC championship game. It was a great game to watch. Not a great game for New Canaan as Wilton upset the Rams 8-7 in double overtime. Tell the people at home what went wrong for New Canaan since we last saw them on Monday and why they're on a 3-game losing skid right now heading into the state tournament.
It's really just been team chemistry and teamwork from the New Canaan side of things. Starting from the X, from the face-off dot, it's been a struggle for Hayden Shannon a couple of the past games, and especially in the Wilton game when we faced Spencer Leaston from Wilton, who was a star face-off guy, and that's what killed us that game. And we had no offensive possession, and we couldn't get the goals that we wanted, and we fell short by just one in double overtime. So that's a key factor to the game today. They have a good face-off guy from Ludlowe, Brooks Cliver, who's committed to Dickinson. So it's going to be a great matchup between the two of them today, and that's going to determine our offensive possession and who's going to get more goals on the board.
Yes, New Canaan met with Ludlowe earlier this year. It was New Canaan's home opener here on Dunning. They defeated Coach Steve Sweat and his squad 13-9 in a close game. So will we see a close game here today? Let's see. We'll bring it back to the field now as the buzzer sounds in the background, and we will bring it to our PA announcer, Bill Brown, who has all the action and pregame festivities for this one. It's the New Canaan Rams and the Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons in the Class L qualifying round, the 13th seed against the 20 seed. We will take a break, and we'll see you during the game.
Lacrosse, he lives over there. I guess playing last night. You don't care either. You don't care.
You all right? All right, we are ready. New Canaan and Fairfield Ludlowe. As I mentioned just a few moments ago before the anthem, the first time these two teams met this season, it was in a game that didn't have much stake for either team. New Canaan picked up their first win on the year up against Fairfield Ludlowe right here on Dunning Field, 13-9. This time around, Chase, the stakes are much higher for both teams involved. It's win or go home in the state tournament, and whoever loses today, their 2021 season is over. It's Brooks Cliver and Hayden Shin at the face-off. Max Alert running for it, and the ball will roll out of play and it will be Ludlowe ball to get things going.
Yeah, New Canaan really needs to step up the game here because if they lose, they're done for the season. And the past 3 games have not been the bright side for them. They're on a 3-game losing streak to Darien, Staples, and Wilton. So we gotta pick up our act here.
That they do. Ludlowe looking to capitalize and jump on the opening opportunity here as they won the first face-off. Liam Kieser going to move it around the cage here. Move it over to number 13, Cooper Carr, the junior attack. Carr moves it up to number 20 for Fairfield Ludlowe. And here's Kieser. Kieser moves in, fighting for positioning. Really looking for the shot, and it is saved quite easily by the sophomore Holden Busby, who makes his first save of the game. They're going to move it back to Busby here. And back and forth between him and senior D-man Braden Sweeney. Remember the last time we saw New Canaan, it was on Monday right here at Dunning Field in the FCAC semifinals, where the Rams were upset by the team they defeated in the FCAC championship game 2 years ago. The Wilton Warriors in double overtime by a score of 8-7 it was on Monday. New Canaan had a tough end of their schedule, playing 3 of the top 5 teams in the state. Darien a couple Thursdays ago. That was the last time we saw Tommy Augustine in the lineup that game as he misses that shot. He's been dealing with an ankle sprain. They lost to Darien, Staples, and Wilton to close out their season. Staples and Darien played here for the FCAC championship game yesterday, if you didn't see it. And Darien won big, 15-3. Breakaway shot does not fall for number 20. And a good start for the game for Holden Busby defensively, but the Rams still look at a sink to start off.
New Canaan's came out pretty slow so far. They've got to start picking up their act, and they have to get more time offensively in order to score some goals because against a team like the Falcons, who's not a strong team offensively, they're not really a strong team all around, we've got to capitalize and take this opportunity.
That they do. Liam Kieser in front of the cage, defended by number 4 for New Canaan, Harry Apelt, who's been playing now both sides of the ball, playing more midfield for New Canaan. In the middle of the season, Ludlowe in some trouble, nearly turning it over. Colin McCarthy. McCarthy's going to get the ball back. Move it over on the wing. There's a cutter and another primetime save from Holden Busby. He is holding down the fort in between the posts right now, Chase.
Yeah, he is. He already has, I believe, 3 or 4 saves, and that's really, we've had no offensive time as the New Canaan team, and us playing so much defense, Holden's kept us in this game, and that's why we're still at a 0-0 game.
Dylan Murray, the long pole. Make sure the ball gets down the field smoothly on the clear. As Apelt will dump it off to the Bucknell commit, Ryan Coyote. Coyote had a good FCAC semifinals game. He's been good as of late. He gets it down low to Harry Apelt, and the shot is saved, but it rolled in. And it's going to say no goal. The refs are going to say no goal. It looked like the ball rolled in past goalie Murphy Hoy, the junior. But no dice there, Chase. What happened?
Looks like Harry Apelt got pushed into the crease, and the ball went with him. So they called it crease violation, and they gave the ball back to New Canaan. All
right, that's the call. So no goal, foul on Ludlowe. Still New Canaan ball, and this time Harry Apelt gets the cut and scores. In this qualifying round game, it is Harry Apelt who strikes first, and the Rams go up 1-0 with just under 8 minutes left to go in the opening quarter. That is just a great pass to the wide-open Harry Apelt.
Great offensive play there by offensive coordinator Bobby Rushton on their team. But he's just moving the ball around the offensive zone, around the perimeter, and making sure everyone gets a touch. Is just a great team play, and then you get the right shot by Harry Apelt, and that's who put it away.
New Canaan trying to get back in sync and prove they're still one of the top teams in the state after a couple of tough losses to end their year. And this would be a great way to hit the reset button in the state tournament. Hayden Shin wins the faceoff, and it will be Michael Norton racing down the field, picking up that loose ball and ensuring another Rams possession. Fairfield Ludlowe also played in the FCAC tournament, and just like New Canaan, they lost in the quarterfinals on Monday. They played Staples, the eventual runner-up in the tournament, and they lost on the road 15-9. Here comes Connor Bailey, the junior, off a screen, trying to find Nick Stiles. Stiles can't get a grip on it. That ball will roll out of play, and it looks like it will stay with New Canaan. Strong defense alongside of a near alley from number 38, senior Harry Chandler. Stiles dumping it off to Augustine. Augustine makes his move. Gets the spin, and he's laid out, and that is going to be a flag on Harry Chandler, and that is a tough thing to see for Tommy Augustine. Looks like he's okay, though, which is good news. He has battled ankle problems all year long, but Chase, when he's in the lineup, this is a superstar sophomore for New Canaan, and luckily it looks like he'll stay on the field, and he's all right after taking that hit.
He sure is. He's a great player. He's always around the play. That's why he keeps getting injured. It almost feels like he's bad karma out there, but he's good karma for the scoring of the New Canaan Rams, as we saw in the Darien game. I believe he had 2 or 3 goals, and he's been a key factor all season. It's been tough having him in and out, but when he's in there, he's doing a great job.
Yes, he plays a lot at X for New Canaan behind the cage, trying to make those big-time goals. He's got a vicious spin move, good finisher, and just got cleared late last week to come back to the lineup. So he's been practicing ever since, ready for this game. Or he got cleared, late this week. And here we are. Here's Callum Wood, the man who had that crazy goal in the Wilton game to bring the game into the first overtime period. Ultimately not enough to get New Canaan that win, but a great effort from the Tufts-bound senior captain. 6.5 minutes left to go in the opening quarter. Chris Cannett's going to rip a shot from the wing, and it finishes high. His first shot of the game for the star UPenn-bound senior. Here's Canette once again. Too much space, and again, too much on it from Chris Canette. This time missing wide right. It will stay with New Canaan. Vin Cognetta will resume play, the junior. New Canaan trying to get those shots up as they are currently man up after a Ludlowe penalty, the one that laid out Tommy Augustine. Here is Augustine. And that one is flat out picked off by number 22, Finn Hoy. Great defensive play from Hoy, the junior, and the twin brother of goalie Murphy. Whistles are blown, and a timeout will be called by head coach Steve Sweat and the Ludlowe Falcons. This is a big-time possession for them, Chase. They are man down for the next 49 seconds, but they have a great opportunity to try to tie it up in the early going.
Yeah, especially against a team like New Canaan. They got to take every single opportunity for granted and try and make the best out of each opportunity they get. So especially the penalties and the possession that they get, they need to just capitalize and make sure they get the shots on net in order to keep the scoring.
We hear from Dunning Field, the rain has finally stopped after it was nonstop ever since the FCAC championship game started last night for boys lacrosse at 5. Rain throughout the night, rain throughout the girls lacrosse FCAC championship game this morning. And if you didn't hear, big news here in New Canaan, as for the first time in 28 years, the New Canaan girls lacrosse team, they are FCAC champions, defeating the Darien Blue Wave 7-4. Head coach Kristen Woods picking up her first ever FCAC championship win as a head coach. Dylan Patton, with 4 goals in that game, was named the game's MVP. This is the second game of our doubleheader today. Thank you so much for watching. New Canaan Ludlowe. And again, the winner of this game will advance to the first round of the state tournament, where they will play the number 4 seed in Class L, an out-of-conference team the Cheshire Ram. Off a timeout from first-year coach Steve Sweat, it will be Will Geary, the junior midi, putting the ball back in play. He's instantly doubled by Salert and Christian Sweeney, as he's working alongside the far alley. Why have a double chase?
I mean, they're man down, and I guess they're just trying to, or they're man up, I'm sorry. So they have that extra player to just try and pressure the ball and take it over to go back on the offensive side of things.
That they do. Ludlow is still man down for another 20-ish seconds, so they want to make sure they don't turn it over before they can get back to even. Chad Russo also back in the lineup for New Canaan after he suffered a hamstring injury late in their regular season. Believe that was in their loss to Staples a week ago today. But he's back, and a much-needed player for them on the defensive end. Ludlow officially no longer man down, evened up. Looking to take it to the right. Now here's Kieser, who gets a good look, and it bounces right away from the goal. As Ludlow still scoreless. Liam Kieser trying to change that here. Frater Congelli moves it over. Kieser working on Christian Sweeney. Kieser moves left, rips a shot, another bouncer, and it bounces right of the goal. It will stay with Fairfield Ludlow. They're getting quality looks, Chase.
They sure are. They're just trying to get all the shots they can on net and see how many they can capitalize.
The pass nearly picked off by Chad Russo. Max Alert's trying to find it, scooped up in the air, and it falls into the hands of New Canaan's ninth-year head coach, Chip Buzzio. Or, excuse me, one of the New Canaan Rams assistant coaches might have been Bobby Rushton, the offensive coordinator. Moving it to X. Here's Cooper Carr. Carr working on senior Braden Sweeney, number 91. Carr finds the man on the move, defended by the freshman, Dylan Stevens. It's Connor Gitman. Or, excuse me, that's not Gitman, that's number 6, Jake Frater Congelli, who's committed to play at DeSales University next year. Player hits the deck for Ludlow. No penalty is called, but a shot will be scored from Colin McCarthy. The junior ties his game up at 1 with 3:42 left to go in the first quarter. And a really nice looking shot there from him, Chase.
That should be a wake-up call for the New Canaan Rams defense, especially letting them walk right in on Holden Busby and get the shot they want, top left corner.
Yeah, things have been a little bit out of sync for the Rams towards the tail end of this season. A tough 3-3 start for New Canaan. Then they would win 7 of their next 8 games before their 3-game losing skid. Let's see if Hayden Shin with the face-off wins can help change the fortune of this very talented New Canaan team. Ryan Coyote threads the needle, finds Harry Apelt coming in off the sideline. Apelt has New Canaan's lone goal this afternoon. He's defended by number 33, Will Geary. And now Coyote. Running right, now left, retreating, thanks to the defense of Ryan Ferris. Nick Stiles, the MIT commit's going to spin and put up a shot and in. Nick Stiles, now with 2 goals in 2 games, and he scores from the right side of the cage to give the Rams the lead right back in just under a minute. 2-1 New Canaan over Ludlow, thanks to Nick Stiles. Let's get a second look at that one, Chase. Let's see where the breakdown happened here for Ludlow defensively.
It was a good movement by Coyote over to Nick Stiles, who then beat his defender with a nice roll dodge. Rolled on the inside and then snuck it to his left hand and put a top left corner, which is a great play by Stiles.
So Stiles put the Rams up 2-1. Shin wins another draw, gets it on the wing. Augustine 6-side low, and it's deflected all the way to the woods from Hoy.
Wow.
Really strong.
What a shot.
You could tell the velocity on that one was strong, yet it did not drop off the laser from Tommy Augustine. Good play from Murphy Hoy, keeping his team in it in the early going. Here's Michael Norton, moving from right to left laterally. Augustine behind the cage. Running to his right. Defended tightly by Declan Kuhn. Norton looking to make something happen. Defense shifts over to him. Connor Bailey. Now here's Callum Wood. A defender finds him. He loses the ball. No, wait, it's just a good pass, and it's deflected away by Hoy on the shot from Connor Bailey.
Looked like a bounce pass from Callum Wood. We haven't seen one of those in a while.
Yeah, that's why it didn't look like a pass. It was a great one, though. Found Bailey right on the left side of the crease, but another good stop from Hoy. Timeout called by New Canaan's head coach, Chip Buzzio, with 1:53 left to go in the first quarter. Not a terrific start from the Rams, but they still lead 2-1, Chase. The offense, what is your opinion on it right now? And is there anything they really need to correct in the early going, or just keep attacking the way they have been?
New Canaan came out pretty slow, but in the past three or so minutes, they've on offense they've had the spark, and they've been I would say playing much better than they did in the beginning of the game. If they keep that up, and they've got 1:53 left in the first quarter, they can take a couple more before we go into the second quarter. We're going to take a second look at the
last two goals.
Last 3 goals of the game.
I think it's the last 2, but let's see. We have the McCarthy goal there, and then the last one, the Coyote to Nick Stiles connection. As you mentioned, the spin dodge there. Working up against...
Looks like a Canadian-style goal. Oh, no, just left-handed, top left. That was a great spin move to a nice shot from Nick Stiles.
Yep. Beat his defender, fellow senior Harry Chandler. And now New Canaan up 2-1. Fairfield Ludlowe, coached by really second season but first year at the helm, Steve Sweat. Sweat, did not play at the college level, but a good coach nonetheless, trying to build up this Ludlowe program. Deflected is the pass from Nick Stiles, but it finds the stick of Tommy Augustine. He was hired in August of 2019, Sweat was, but he never got the chance to coach in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That pass broken up, looking for Stiles. And it will roll to Ludlowe's number 22, Finn Hoy. The long stick midi makes the play, and New Canaan botches that possession. Hoy hoists up a shot, and it misses off the ground left. Trying to go coast to coast to no prevail. But he does clear it quite well, Chase, and now Ludlow's got a good opportunity to try to knot things up at 2.
They sure do. The Falcons have to possess the ball here and try and find the open lane to come in, make a dodge, and get the goal that they need. Put them up and make it 2-2.
Here's Frater Congelli. Now over to 13, Cooper Carr, just swinging it around the perimeter. Trying to keep this game in striking distance, which it already is at 2-1. Trying to tie it up at 2-2. Dylan Stevens defending Frater Congelli. Frater Congelli dumps one off. Really good spin to get free, and it goes in. Wow, what a move from Cooper Carr to find the bottom left corner of the cage, Chase. And it's 2-2 with just over 37 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
That was a great team play and a great team hustle play from the Falcons there. They did everything they needed to do, and they put them up one more goal, and now we're 2-2 with 37 seconds left in the first quarter.
Let's get another look at that one. That was some sweet stuff.
That was crazy.
From Cooper Carr. Trying to prove that Ludlow is not going to go away easy, and they've got a chance in this game. The assist coming from Frater Congelli, dumping it off to the wing.
And they shot bottom of the cage. We talked about in the girls' game,
yep,
with how the turf is all wet today. You never know really the ball's going to bounce. So shoot low and could score some more goals.
Yeah, so the assist coming from Frater Congelli, the goal for Cooper Carr. Ludlow gaining possession off the face-off thanks to the efforts of Brooks Cliver. Ludlow, could they take their first lead? They had a good chance off the cutter, but Kieser couldn't find it. Here's the spin and the score, and they will take that lead. Ludlow goes up 3-2 thanks to the efforts of number 20, who unfortunately We do not have him on the latest roster. But Ludlowe goes up 3-2, Chase. 2 goals in 40 seconds to close out the first quarter.
Yeah, momentum has definitely shifted in towards the Falcons' favor, and New Canaan's defense they're slumped back. They're not energetic, and they're just letting the Falcons walk right in and get the shots they want.
They really are. Another face-off win.
It's also a big thanks to Brooks Cliver on the X.
Brooks Cliver got one more face-off win before the end of a quarter, Chase. Couldn't really do anything with it. You mentioned in the pregame, Hayden Shin, very talented player. He's committed to continue his lacrosse career as a Fogo at Trinity next season, as we'll bring it, before we bring it back up to the booth. Let's get one more look at that goal from Ludlow's number 20. It really happened quickly.
Breaks it down, and a nice shot to beat Holden Busby, sticks that high.
So we'll come up to the booth here. Ian Nicholas joined by New Canaan freshman boys lacrosse player and color analyst Chase Pinkernell. Chase, you know the program well, and the team has been struggling as of late. But right now, give Ludlowe credit. They've got some really talented shot makers, and they are dropping some really good looks right now off a couple of really smooth dodges and spin moves.
The past 2 goals have all been from the X, with Brooks Cliver winning it clean right at the front and got them possession that they needed, and they worked the baller out, and they got the goal. So Hayden Shin needs to come out in the second quarter and win some faceoffs to get us some more offensive possession and get some more shots on net.
And what does New Canaan need to do outside of Hayden Shin? Is there anything on the offensive or defensive end right now that stands out to you that needs to be fortified as we head into the second quarter?
They just need to look for the open lanes and not just take every shot. Like we had Chris Connect just taking shots out from the restraining line almost. We got to look for the right shots. If we just keep pulling shots, and we're not gonna keep scoring.
No, New Canaan will not keep scoring outside of the 2 goals they have from their 2 senior captains, or excuse me, 1 senior captain, Harry Apelt. He had the first goal, and then Nick Stiles with the second. You see Chip Buzzio, a 9th-year coach, in all black, and next to him in the gray, Bobby Rushton, his offensive coordinator, trying to get this team back on track. They were the 3rd best team in the state, or actually, excuse me, in one of the latest coaches polls last week, they were ranked as the 2nd best team in the state. And since then, not a lot of things have gone right for the Rams, trying to correct it here in the second quarter as they have fallen behind 3-2 to the Ludlowe Falcons. Ian Nicholas, Chase Pinkernell, and the rest of the NCTV 78 crew bringing you the live action. Hayden Shin's going to win the draw. Take it right down the field and score on the stick side low shot. Hayden Shin, that's what he needed, Chase, to win a draw, and then that's a big momentum play for this team.
That sure is. That's just such a great play by Hayden Shin, especially after getting beaten the last 2 times against Brooks Cliver. He came out, changed that mental stage, and smoked him right at the front and got the goal. And that's going to definitely shift the momentum here in the second quarter.
So Shin wins the draw up against the Dickinson-bound senior Brooks Cliver, and it's knotted up at 3. False start from Shin, though. Or, excuse me, a false start from Brooks Cliver, and New Canaan is awarded possession.
Looks like Shin got him in his mental stage.
Just a little bit, rattling him up here in the early stages of the quarter. Ryan Coyote directing some traffic off the ball. Working against Will Geary. Coyote looking for a shot. He'll spin back. Defender shifts towards him. He has to change plans, dump it off to Chris Connect. Connect guarded by Finn Hoy. Over to Augustine. Augustine, a little shake and bake. Good defense from a long pole. Number 8, Declan Kuhn, the Connecticut College commit. Coyote, the ball is poked loose. Kuhn doesn't have his stick. That is a violation on number 5, Luke Lasiza. Excuse me, not Kuhn. Lasiza didn't have his stick, and he tried to box out Coyote, and you can't do that.
Yeah, that's not allowed, Ian.
Hey,
Can't be playing without a stick.
That was an A for effort, though. I liked it from
Yeah.
Lasiza. Maybe he should have played for Ludlow's basketball team.
Or their soccer team. Something without a stick.
Well, dump from Nick Stiles, and that's a goal. Harry Apelt off the assist from Stiles. Those two have had a great start to this game, Chase. A laser right in front of a crease to Harry Apelt, and New Canaan now leads 4-3 off Harry Apelt's second goal of the first half.
Harry Apelt, the Williams commit, is a great mover. He's a great player off ball, and he moves around as much as he can, which we also see from, or we saw from his brother Jackson Apelt, who's now at UVA playing right now in the NCAA quarterfinals up in Hartford.
Yes, he is. Virginia came to town. Actually saw, I think, their team bus roll through Norwalk a few days ago.
Yep.
So good to see that. And, you know, Connecticut getting some lacrosse, some beautiful lacrosse being played up the state between some of the teams, top teams of the nation. New Canaan wins another possession. Vin Cognetta moves it over to Connor Bailey. The Rams retake the lead by 1 here after trailing 3-2 heading into the quarter. 2 unanswered goals from New Canaan is exactly what the doctor ordered from Hayden Shin and Harry Apel. All seniors scoring New Canaan's 4 goals. Off a screen, Augustine looking to do damage. Augustine forces up a shot. Maybe never saw the second defender shift onto him. Kuhn with the deflection. Rams will keep it. Callum Wood gets the screen. Augustine doesn't get his stick on it. Now has it. Defended loosely by Tim Ward, the pace commit. Here's Carter Connors behind the cage. Out in front. Pass nearly picked off. And Michael Norton is able to save it for New Canaan. Good deflection by number 24, Timmy Ziegler. Couldn't come away with it. Across the field, Stiles finds Bailey. Bailey to his left. On the wing, Augustine rips one that goes behind the cage. It will stay with New Canaan. New Canaan looks like they're starting to play with a little more life on the offensive end, Chase. Just feels like they're moving at a faster tempo than they were in the first quarter.
They sure do, and that they are doing, which is why they have scored 2 goals here in the second quarter.
Oh, nearly 3 as Callum Wood nicks the top left corner of the cage, hitting that left pole, looking for his first score of the afternoon. Once again, it will stay with New Canaan with just over 9 minutes left to go in the half. Stiles looks to break free. A beautiful pass, and Callum Wood can't corral it. Wood running forward as he's thrown out of bounds. And they're going to say it's Ludlowe ball. Ludlowe will resume here, trying to get it cleared. Moving it up the field to number 4, Liam Kieser. Four to 3 is your score in this SEAC Class L qualifying round game. Again, the winner will advance to the first round of states on Wednesday, where they will travel to play the Cheshire Rams. And the winner of that game might potentially have a meetup with the number 5 seed in the tournament, the Wilton Warriors, next Saturday. Ludlowe trying to tie things up, pass inside, but no shot to be found for Cooper Carr. Here's number 11, John Kleinbeck, the freshman, getting some playing time. Now he's moving off the ball. Michael Norton with some defense. Deflected by Dylan Stevens. Kleinbeck also fighting for it. Ball is still loose. Braden Sweeney is there for New Canaan. Couple players diving for it for Ludlowe. Sweeney kicks it into a ref, and it's still loose. And a bit of a scrum starting to develop. Luckily, nothing really comes out of that. Kleinbeck, some pushing and shoving from Ludlowe's end. It's New Canaan's ball after all the theatrics. They get it back to Busby. Busby lofts one up to the long pole. Dylan Murray. Murray's got a wide open look. He'll give it up to Stiles, who moves right, and he's doubled. Whistles are blown, and it looks like it will be a timeout called by head coach Chip Buzzio and the rest of the New Canaan coaching staff. 7:15 left to go in this first half. Let's get a look at the last 3 goals of this game. Saw Hayden Shin come right off the face-off and score one with the stick-side low shot. The Trinity-bound Hayden Shin with a momentum booster. And then we see Nick Stiles here flip one easily to Harry Apel, which tied the game up. And then this one, not a goal, but a near goal from Callum Wood as he nicked the top left corner of the cage and nearly made it a 5-3 game. So here in the timeout, Ian Nicholas, Chase Pinkernell, the rest of the NCTV 78 crew bringing you our second live stream of the game. And make sure to like and subscribe for more as we will continue to be your home for New Canaan Athletics live streams throughout the rest of the state tournament. We hope that the girls lacrosse team will make a deep run. We hope the New Canaan boys lacrosse team gets the win today and gets the win on the road against Cheshire on Wednesday. Maybe they'll be matched up with Wilton next Saturday. Who knows? Could be a potential outcome. We still got plenty of more sports to go. Might bring you some baseball live streams. They're in the state tournament. We'll see where we end up. But right now we are in the middle of a 4-3 game. New Canaan still with possession. Coyote backpedals, defended by Zach Hathaway, the junior. Coyote is yet to add anything to his box score today. Apel moves left, fending off a defender. Back to fellow senior captain Ryan Coyote. Coyote moves right, looks for a shot, shoots, scores! Ryan Coyote! His signature celebrations queued up, and he adds New Canaan's 5th goal of the game and his first of this afternoon. So speedy and so quick with that release.
Him and Chris Canette look identical in their nature on the offensive side of things. Just try and run down and get the shot overhand or sidearm and just sting it to the top left, top right corner of the cage. And that he did there.
New Canaan, all their goals coming from their seniors. 2 from Harry Apel and 1 apiece from Nick Stiles, Ryan Coyote, and Hayden Shin. They're going to win yet another draw as Shin is starting to heat up. Up against Brooks Cliver. Chris Canette comes in off the box. 6:20 left to go in the first half, and New Canaan has now scored 3 unanswered after falling behind 3-2 with little time left to go in the first quarter. Harry Apel looking for the hat trick, and Mr. Hoy says no thanks with the save. He moves it up to his brother Finn, and with his long pole, he extends and clears it. Finn's got a wide open shot, and Busby deflects it away. But coming in from the sideline, Liam Keiser's going to get that loose ball. Good timing. As Ludlow now finds themselves down 2.
This is when the Falcons can capitalize and get one more point up on the board. And really, every point here is a big factor because as time will tick down in this game and New Canaan keeps building up more points, the only way for them to stay in is by getting offensive time and putting shots on net.
Exactly right, Chase. Here from behind X. Here from X, excuse me. Cole Spencer. Spencer breaking some ankles. But no shot. With a nice little spin. Here's Keiser moving left on Chris Canette. Wide open look right in front of a cage. And no dice from Colin McCarthy, who scored the first Ludlow goal. Exactly 5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Keiser's going to move right. Dylan Murray with some punishing defense. Keiser drifts to the sideline. Gives it up to Spencer. Cole Spencer wraps around the cage. Moving it around the perimeter now. Chad Russo on Keiser. Russo getting a little handsy there, but no fault, no call. Shot from the wing, and it finds the top left corner. Beautiful shot from Colin McCarthy. his second goal of the game, and Ludlowe back to within 1, 4:25 left to go in this first half.
That was a great offensive play there from the Falcons, possessing the ball, taking their time, working around the perimeter, and they found the right shot when they had the alley open, and Colin McCarthy just ripped it, top left corner.
That he did. He almost looked like he queued up the same celebration as a Coyote. Kind of looked like the same one.
They think alike.
They think alike.
Top left corner.
Top left corner.
Hand on the ground.
Both aren't too tall. I'm getting too specific here.
Let's stick to the game.
Let's stick to the game. 5-4 is your score. Still scrumming in the middle. Timeout will be called by Fairfield Ludlowe as they just gained possession. And Coach Steve Sweat using this as a break to ensure his team keeps the ball and to try to drop the perfect play off the timeout to tie this game up at 5. So let's look at the last bunch of highlights here, Chase. Maybe you can take us through some of the recent scoring action. When we have it, here it is.
Coyote with the sweep. Right hand. Right side of the net. Top right corner. Good sweep, just like Chris Gannett will do. Number 22 coming down the field with the shot. Great save by Holden Busby. Moving it over to number 7.
Colin
McCarthy. With a great shot, top left corner. Nice celebration. And that'll do it for our highlights.
And that will for the moment, but it's been a jam-packed game so far. It's been a really good playing game, I guess you could say. The qualifying round is essentially a playing round.
No free game here, Ian.
And it's just no free game. Ludlowe has come to town looking to avenge their early season loss to New Canaan, looking to pick up a postseason win for their young program. And New Canaan is fighting with them in a good back and forth. And the offenses for both teams, Chase, look like they've really started to settle in and get comfortable.
I can agree with you there, Ian. Especially the Falcons right now. They have pushed the momentum to their favor, and they will continue to possess the ball and try and get the open looks that they want and get more points up on the board.
So Ludlowe with the ball off their timeout. Looking to tie it up at 5. Little screen for Jake Frater-Cangeli. He's going to move it around the cage, and a pretty-looking wraparound shot. Deflects away from Cooper Carr, looking to add his second goal of the early going. Ryan Ferris swings it over to the freshman, John Kleinbeck. There's over 3.5 minutes left to go here in the opening half. And it's been a good back and forth. Can't ask for much of a better game. Ripping a shot from the wing, a tough angle, and Liam Kieser could not find the back of the net. It will stay with Ludlowe. Dylan Stevens playing right up against Frater-Cangeli.
Dylan Stevens, we talk about a lot. He's one of those great defensive players, probably one of the best in the freshman class in the country.
But wait, hold on. Not good defense there from New Canaan. They swing it across the field, and Liam Kieser is going to get his first goal of the game. Ludlowe has now scored 2 unanswered to tie it up at 5 with just over 3 minutes left in half number 1.
This is going to be a big face-off here between Hayden Shin and Brooks Cliver. Now we're tied up, so this next offensive possession will really push the momentum in someone's favor. But while we're here, let's take a second look at that goal.
Let's get that look. The assist will come from Frater-Cangeli, his second assist of the game. Great pass.
Passes it up over number 4, Liam Kieser with a nice shot. As Hayden Shin won the possession, got it to Ryan Coyote.
That he did. Big face-off win as New Canaan didn't want to fall behind for the second time today.
Now let's hope that they can capitalize on this opportunity.
Coyote scored the last New Canaan goal. Over on the wing, Tommy Augustine thought about it, then dumped it off. Callum Wood gets the screen. 2.5 minutes left to go here in the opening half of this tied game from Dunning Field. Augustine gives the screen for Coyote. Flips it over to him. Defended by Geary. Augustine on his first game back from his ankle sprain, getting shoved by Geary. He is yet to score. A little bit of a defensive rotation. Buchanan trying to move it quickly. Nick Stiles, the lefty, finishes with the lefty shot. Nick Stiles is going to add his second goal of the game. And a great game for Nick Stiles right now, Chase. 2 goals and an assist in the first half, and he puts New Canaan up 6-5 with exactly 2 minutes left in the half.
It's a good bounce back for Nick Stiles after the past 2 games. He's kind of been in silent mode. We didn't see much of him. We didn't hear much of him.
No.
And he kind of took a couple off games, which is what hurt New Canaan offensively a lot. And now him coming back is a huge key factor to this game.
And great ball movement to get that goal to Stiles, just right around the perimeter. And
oh, yeah.
Stiles, a great move into his left. False start from Cliver as he's starting to lose his grip of things. And another possession awarded to New Canaan, looking to add on to the lead they just grabbed. Right back from Ludlowe.
This is when New Canaan should settle things down and take their time, settle the ball, and try to get one more point up before the halftime.
Connor Bailey over to Stiles, who leads New Canaan with 3 points now, 2 goals and an assist. Could it be 3 goals? Looks for the wraparound. Bad pass, looking for Augustine. It's deflected. Ludlowe doing their best to come away with it. In and out of the sticks of 2 players, and it is Ludlowe ball. In and out of the stick of Declan Kuhn. Also out of Michael Norton's stick for New Canaan. And in the end, the Falcons take over at the 40. Minute 20 left to go in this opening half. Ludlowe looking to knot it right back up at 6. Good defense from Chad Russo, but the pass will find Colin McCarthy, who is Ludlow's leading goal scorer today with 2 goals. McCarthy working for something against Norton. Bad pass will drift to midfield, and that's an over and back on Fairfield Ludlowe. Just under a minute left to go. New Canaan moving with a lot of speed here. Looking to move things along quickly and try to add one more. Chris Canet, he is yet to strike in this state playoff game. Ryan Coyote at the hash.
Trying to wait for about 20 seconds left to make his final dodge. So if they score, they can't let the Falcons come back and bounce back and get one more.
So you think Coyote takes a shot?
He's going to pass it on to one of his teammates. They're going to try and work it around and get one more shot.
Stiles down low. Canet with a good look, and he can't convert. That's the miss from Chris Canet in some traffic. Ludlowe turning it up the field. They got a shot here, maybe. Bad pass, though, and that's the end of the half. As Jake Frater-Cangeli threw the ball out of bounds. And New Canaan in a very close game. Class L qualifying round. They have the 1-goal lead, 6-5. Chase, as we bring it back up to the booth here, it has not been pretty for New Canaan. But when it's playoffs, you don't really care what the final score is. It's survived and advanced. And for a team that has not won in the last 3 games, anything positive right now is a good thing. And where do they look good, and where do they not look so good?
Offensively, they're doing pretty well, moving the ball around the perimeter, getting the shots, but some shots are just not needed. They're not necessary. They should really just try and find the right shot when the alley's open, or they can sweep across and get the shots when they're in close. But when they're out far in the restrainer, there's really no need for the shot. Defensively, they're doing a pretty good job. They're just letting a couple things slide, but overall, they're playing well as a team.
Yeah, they are. Let's get a quick look at the last few strikes from both teams to close out the half, in which New Canaan now leads 6-5. And Chase, why don't you take us through this latest highlight package?
Let's see. Around the corner is number 13, who just missed
Cooper
wide.
Carr.
This was the goal to make it, I believe,
5-5.
Number 4, Liam Kieser. And this is a nice, pretty goal here. Cutting across to Callum Wood. Up top, back to Coyote. To Nick Stiles. Underhand, change levels. Nice shot, top shelf.
That it was. So here we are at the break in the second game of our doubleheader. The New Canaan Rams lead oh so slightly over the Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons 6-5. It's survive and advance, and whoever loses today, their 2021 season is over. It could break either way at this point. But one thing that always stays the same is our sponsors video. Let's roll through it before we head to the break. I want to thank our two platinum sponsors, Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market, and Rambuya and Harrow, the business of real estate. I want to thank our gold sponsor, Club Sandwich, for breakfast, lunch, and catering right here on 107 Cherry Street in New Canaan. I want to thank our silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners, and Rand Insurance. And finally, our wonderful black sponsors, Ready Rooster, Sheila La, 84 Sports New Canaan, the New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, the Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, and Prudding and Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. New Canaan leads by 1 at the half in this Class L qualifying round game over the Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons. We'll be back in just under 7 minutes to bring you the second half of this one. Please stay with us. Coming to you back from Dunning Field, Ian Nicholas, Chase Pinkernell, and the rest of the NCTV 78 crew bringing you the live action of this Class L qualifying game between the New Canaan Rams and the Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons. Delivering a blow, Ryan Coyote, and then he loses his stick as a result. Both teams fighting for it at midfield, and coming away with it is the face-off man, Hayden Shin, who's going to win possession for New Canaan, as he'll check out after getting the ball over to fellow senior Callum Wood. It was a back-and-forth first half, a lot of scoring, and a lot of good shots from both teams that dropped, and New Canaan leads 6-5 at the half. New Canaan's star of the game has been Nick Stiles. He leads the team with 3 points, 2 goals, 1 assist. Ryan Coyote looking for his second goal, and he misfires, looking for Mr. Nick Stiles on that pass. There's mental miscues right now for New Canaan, Chase, that they really can't afford to be making this deep into the postseason.
No, they really can't. This is if they lose this game, so they're done. So this is a game that these mental errors should cost the season.
Yep, win or go home. This is the state tournament. Both of these teams lost in the quarterfinals of FCX, but they knew they would have both qualified for states. And a violation on Fairfield Ludlowe, and the ball will go right back to New Canaan. Max Alert is going to clear it for New Canaan. And Chris Kinnett can't get his stick on that pass. Don't know what's happening right now for New Canaan as they're trying to move the ball with some simple passes, and they're simply not on the same page. Ball moved back to the goalie, Murphy Hoy. Hoy up the field. Catching that one in stride, Zach Hathaway. Hathaway is going to bring it behind the cage as Ludlow looks to tie this game up at 6. Here is number 6, Jake Fradicangeli, who has 2 assists. And now number 20, the man who we did not know the name of at the beginning of the game, but now we have confirmed it is Aaron Field. Field had Ludlow's 3rd goal of the game. Kyle McCarthy working against Vin Cognetta. Good passing, and maybe a little bit too good, as Cole Spencer did not expect that pass from Cooper Carr, and it's a Ludlow turnover. Christian Sweeney moves it up the field for New Canaan. The senior 3-sport athlete, football, basketball, and lacrosse star. Tommy Augustine taking his sweet old time right near the end zone line. Harry Apelt, he had 2 of the Rams' first 4 goals in this game. The Williams commit. Coyote looks to move in, do some damage. Moves left. Coyote rips a shot and he puts it in. And then bumps into the ref for good measure. Ryan Coyote adds his 2nd strike of the game, and New Canaan pads to their lead, which is now 2. 9:14 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
It was a great sweep dodge that he did in the 2nd quarter as well. Clearing across, making sure the opponent is open, and snipes it top left corner. It's like a second look at that goal from Coyote.
That we will, as New Canaan now has 3 different goal scorers with 2 goals apiece. Coyote, one of them.
In his left hand. Top shelf.
We'll have to see players who can get it done ambidextrously. And Coyote proving he has those capabilities. So now Harry Apelt, Nick Stiles, and Ryan Coyote, all 3 seniors, and all of them have 2 goals. Meanwhile, Hayden Shin also scored off a draw win. The freshman, John Kleinbeck, with the ball for Ludlow as they now find themselves down 2. Here's Kyle McCarthy. On the wing, Fradicangeli works against Dylan Stevens and gets the screen, which doesn't do a whole lot to move Stevens. Another screen, and that one is going to be an illegal screen up against John Kleinbeck. Another Ludlow turnover. They're starting to get sloppy. Michael Norton racing down the field, whips the pass to Augustine. Augustine defended by Ziegler. Just over 8 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter as New Canaan has added the lone goal for either team in his frame. Chris Canaan coming off the sidelines. He's had a quiet one. Pass too far in front of Coyote and right to the stick of Murphy Ahoy. A brilliant stave to prevent the Coyote hat trick. They will clear it. McCarthy swings it over to number 6, Jake Fraticangeli. And behind the cage, Cooper Carr. Again, the winner of this game will play the 4 seed, the Cheshire Rams, on the road next Wednesday in the first round of the Class L tournament. Good-looking pass, finding Carr. Bounce pass will find Cole Spencer with a bounce. Screen from Kleinbeck for Colin McCarthy. Defended by Dylan Stevens, moving to his right. Aaron Field looking at his second goal. He gets a few screens. Long possession for Ludlowe. On the far alley, it's Mr. Cole Spencer. Cole Spencer rips up a shot and away. It goes out of bounds. It will stay with the Falcons. Bringing it back in play, Cooper Carr. Carr, nice looking spin, a screen, and the screener topples over Liam Kieser. Carr getting fancy, a couple nice dodges, trying to free himself from Dylan Stevens. McCarthy through some traffic, loses the ball with a shove from Braden Sweeney from behind. And it looks like Braden Sweeney is going to get called for a foul. Ludlowe will not be man up, but they will retain possession. Barrett Schmitz, the junior, is checked in for New Canaan defensively. He's matched up with Aaron Field. He gets the better of Field, Field gets the better of Schmitz. And then that shot is deflected by Carr. A wide-range shot from him. Outside the restricted line. Field once again playing from X. Moves left and falling to the turf. Does not put it in. Ludlowe does its best to keep it with them, but it will go to New Canaan. Just over 5.5 minutes left to go in this third quarter. And New Canaan looking to survive in advance to the next round. Schmitz will clear it. Takes a couple whacks from Zach Hathaway and dumps it off to fellow junior Connor Bailey. Whistles are blown, and a timeout will be called by the Rams. 5:16 left to go in the third quarter here on this NCTV 78 live stream. And Coach Chip Buzzio is going to take a break with his team up 2, looking to add more, maybe add some padding to his lead. Thank you so much for joining us on this live stream. If you joined us for the first one of the New Canaan Darien Girls FCX Championship game, we greatly appreciate your viewership. We'd appreciate a like and subscribe as well. Over 1.1 thousand subscribers now for us. It's been a big year for us in our live streams. And if you're a fan of Fairfield County Lacrosse in the years to come, we will be your hub for those live stream links to send out to your family and friends who cannot make the games, or if you're a student tuning in from either side, we appreciate that too. New Canaan off the timeout, up 2, looking to add more. Michael Norton will pick things back up for the Rams off timeout. Here's Carter Connors, who slips to the turf, but it ends up paying off as he got inside. Then passed it up. A lot of juniors on the field for New Canaan right now. Connor Bailey, Michael Norton, Carter Connors make up a strong class of soon-to-be seniors. Callum Wood finds the cutter, but Tommy Augustine does not find the goal. Great defense from number 18, Cole O'Boyle, who came in and really was right in the grill of Augustine when he shot it, and it's Ludlow ball.
That's what the Falcons have to be aware of. Tommy Augustine has dangerous cuts, and that's what he capitalizes most of, or off of.
Yep. Timeout will be called by Coach Steve Sweat, as now his team has the ball. This is a big possession for Ludlow to try to regain a little momentum here. It's been a slow-moving third quarter for both teams offensively. New Canaan has scored the lone goal of the quarter for either side, Chase. And Fairfield Ludlow got some really good looks in the first half, but I think it's fair to say that it was less off their ball movement and more off individual play. They need to start moving the ball a little bit more to try to get some better looks.
Yeah, start playing as a team. Right now they're kind of just going selfish on their players are just not being a team. They're not moving the ball around how they want to, and they're not taking the right shots, and they're just not playing as a team. So if they all stick together and they keep their stride going, they can come out and get a couple more goals and tie this game up.
Yep, they've had an up-and-down game. They've certainly had their moments where they're coming together, led by first-year head coach Steve Sweat, a Sacred Heart graduate who played high school lacrosse at Greens Farms Academy right here in Westport, Connecticut, where he also coached as an assistant coach for a year. He was the assistant head coach there before getting the job as the head coach at Fairfield Ludlowe High. He's also the director of lacrosse at the Fieldhouse, which is Fairfield's premier indoor sports facility located in the Sportsplex next to Candlewood Market Coffee and Tea Emporium. So I'm giving a little plug for him as he is active in the youth lacrosse community and up in Fairfield. Here's McCarthy. McCarthy dumps it backward. Finds number 9, Ryan Ferris, the sophomore. So under 4 minutes left to go on this raw, dreary day from Dunning. The rain has stopped after it rained all night and all morning. But a bit nippy out here. Little screen for Fratacangeli. Dylan Stevens, just like he has all year since being named as starter in the second game of the season. Just vicious defense.
Nearly no one can get by him. He's just a key factor to the New Canaan defense, and he normally locks up the best offensive player from the opposing team.
That he does. He's done a great job for Coach Chip Buzzio this year. Coach Buzzio can't say more good things about him. He knows he's got a good one in Dylan Stevens. Ryan Ferris, defended by Vin Cognetta, bobbled the ball around a bit. Now here's Fratacangeli. A little bit of confusion. A screen will cause a shift in the New Canaan defense, but then Stevens gets right back on Fratacangeli, diving toward the goal, saved by Holden Busby. And Chad Russo pretty much tackles Ryan Ferris outside the 25-yard line. Whistles are finally blown. It will stay with Ludlow. Just over 2 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Ludlow looking for their first second-half goal still.
They're taking their time, setting up the plays they want to set up in order to get the shots on net that are needed.
Keiser looking for goal number 2, and that one really doesn't get close. But it is a shot, so it will stay with Ludlow. Here's Cole Spencer. Braden Sweeney providing the defense. Kyle McCarthy gets the screen from a teammate. Chad Russo runs over Keiser. And the shot will fall, and so will Colin McCarthy before he can get up and celebrate. McCarthy with the hat trick. 3 of the Falcons' 6 goals have come from their junior, and a really good one there.
Looks like it was deflected there.
It looked like it was.
McCarthy, and he shot it, and he got deflected by a couple sticks.
Well, let's get another look at that one when we can and see just how Colin McCarthy got a bit lucky on his third goal of the game. Here's the look, Chase. McCarthy coming from the left side of the cage. Got a good
across.
screen.
Fake. Dylan Stevens at his hands.
And here's
a
the
shot.
shot. And maybe
Looks
it
like
did get there.
it got off the stick of Dylan Murray, number 21, in front of the net.
So there's a deflection. Regardless, a goal's a goal and a much-needed strike for Ludlowe. Their first second-half goal, as I alluded to. Canaan moving to his right, over to Coyote. Coyote, his shot is deflected, and Ludlowe generates a key turnover with just under 2 minutes left to go in his third quarter. Trying to kick it and whip it to a teammate was Will Geary. A little bit of a soccer skills. Middle of the field, it's Luke Lasiza. Lasiza under some duress from Cognetta. Kieser tightly guarded by the Swarthmore commit, Charlie Borthwick. New Canaan will be without one of their star defenders, long stick midi Christian Walter, for the rest of the season, and guys like Borthwick and company have had to step up in his absence as Walter tore his ACL in the middle of this year, the Ohio Wesleyan commit. Here's number 20, Aaron Field. Ludlowe looking to tie it up once again for the first time since it was 5-5. Another screener is thrown to the turf. Field was the screener, looked for a call. Cooper Carr finds a man on the wing. Doesn't take the shot. Cole Spencer. The wind starting to pick up with under half a minute left to go in the third. Dylan Stevens defending. Looking for the shot. Climb back. 4 men on him. He still hoisted it up.
Wow.
Gutsy look.
He was getting hit from every single direction there.
He
somehow got that shot off.
Maybe he was better. He just got rid of the ball and called it a shot so he didn't turn it over.
I guess so.
14 seconds for Ludlowe to tie it in his third quarter. On the far wing, it's Cooper Carr. Carr, good spin. Good defense. 1 second left, and climb back, stick side low. Does not put it in. Holden Busby with another save. Just like it was at the half, it's a 1-goal game here from Dunning. New Canaan with control, but it's a lot tighter than Coach Chip Buzzio and company would like it to be. It's closer than it was the first time around, and at that point we thought it was a close game, 13-9. Now it's a 1-goal game, 7-6. Really, has anything changed from either team from their play in the first half to the third quarter?
I mean, it doesn't really seem like it. I feel like the teams have been steady, and they've been both making stick work errors due to the wet, rainy day out here on Dunning. But overall, the teams just need to keep their momentum and keep their offensive sides going, while the defensive sides are both sloppy from both ends. So just if New Canaan keeps up and they keep their offense going and they get the shots they need, then they'll do fine. We're going to look at the goals from the second half so far.
That we will. It's also been a quiet game for Chris Canaan. You expect multiple goals from him, it seems like on a routine basis with how good he's gotten. Ryan Coyote added a second half goal. Nearly added another, but a great save from Hoy. Ludlowe, they're not done yet, though, as they're going to continue to put up shots, and some good-looking ones at that. Cole Spencer missed that last one. And
Colin McCarthy.
The latest goal that was deflected off the stick of Dylan Murray and dropped, his third of the game. And looking to add one more before the quarter expired, John Kleinbeck hoisted up a few of them. There's one. And then with time expiring, one more look with Charlie Borthwick closing in and a Holden Busby save. So here we are for the final quarter. Dunning Field hosting this SEAC Class L qualifying round game between the 13 seed in the state tournament, the New Canaan Rams, and the 20 seed in the tournament, the Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons. It's an FSEAC matchup in the SEAC game. Who will advance to the first round on Wednesday and travel up to Cheshire, the 4 seed? That is the question. Whose season will end? New Canaan's? Or will they avoid a second? Will they avoid their 4th straight loss and pick up a state tournament win. Hayden Shin and Brooks Cliver matched up like they have been all game, and they are gridlocked here in the middle of the field. And finally, Brooks Cliver comes away with it for Fairfield Ludlowe, is able to win the opening possession of the fourth quarter. Physical defense from Dylan Murray up against Cooper Carr. He cannot get that ball loose. Liam Kieser drifting to his right. Kieser getting shoved away from Braden Sweeney. Really nice dodge, but Chad Russo's going to pick up Fratacangeli. And a shot saved from Holden Busby off the look from Colin McCarthy. Busby coming up big over the last few minutes. Dylan Murray clears it to Christian Sweeney. Sweeney just looking to find a teammate.
Flag down.
Yeah, a couple of illegal whacks as Sweeney heads to the sideline. And it looks like in just a few moments, New Canaan will be man up. Chris Kinnett shoots and misses. Another one, as he is yet to find the back of the net today. And after that missed shot, the penalty will be assessed on Fairfield Ludlowe. As number 8 will jog to the sidelines. Could he be heading to the penalty box? No, it will be number 22, Finn Hoy, the junior, the long stick midi, who illegally whacked Christian Sweeney. And for the next minute, New Canaan is going to look to add their first, maybe their second actually, man-up goal of the game. Augustine over to Coyote, who's got 2 goals, and so does Nick Stiles. Behind the cage, Callum Wood. Looking for the wide-open shot on the man-up. Kinnett zips one to Callum Wood. Too much sauce on that pass. Kinnett looking for the loose ball. Kuhn doing everything in his power to give it to Ludlow. And the loose ball is scooped up and then lit up is Harry Chandler. Ludlow scrambling to try to clear it, and great ball movement from the Falcons as New Canaan turns it over off the errant pass from Chris Kinnett. Not been Kinnett's day. He is usually the bright spot of this New Canaan team, a great player, a great leader, a great teammate, and he's usually a superstar. But today, hey, even the best have their off games, and today Chris has not been able to get a lot going. 9.5 minutes left to go in regulation. Ludlow looking to knot it back up. Kieser with a wild shot. Trying to move in. It will stay with Ludlow. On the wing, Fratacangeli. Kleinbeck looking for his first goal. Wide open and a nice snipe in the bottom left corner of the cage for Colin McCarthy, who's now added his 4th goal of the afternoon, and he ties the game for the first time since it was 5-5. Nobody rotated to Colin McCarthy, wide open for his 4th goal of the game.
Another defensive error there from New Canaan's defense, and if we keep making these errors, and it looks like the Falcons will be up on the board to make this game. It's tied up now, but they could come up and have a lead on the New Canaan Rams here, which will tuck them away with a win. But if the New Canaan defense can fix their act here and get the offense more possession, then that will be greatly appreciated, I guess.
Well, Coach Chip Buzzio is trying to take it 1 goal at a time, but this game could be getting out of New Canaan's hand right now. As a spin move from Michael Norton, Hayden Shin wins the face-off. Norton finds the ball as he'll check out and get it to fellow junior Connor Bailey. Great game from Colin McCarthy, the junior midi. Ludlow's got 4 college-bound players. They're all seniors, and this is a big-time game for McCarthy if he wants to continue to play at the next level. It's a great showing from him up against a top-flight program in a state like New Canaan. Here's Carter Connors. Connors, nice spin, but the defense picks him up. Nick Stiles on the wing. Styles moving right, closing in, and just missing off the left side of the cage. The loose ball finds Augustine. Just over 8 minutes left to go in regulation. Ian Nicholas, Chase Pinkernell, and the rest of the NCTV 78 crew bringing you the live action of this state tournament game. Coyote on the wing. It's Styles, stick side low. Nope. 3 points for Styles today. 2 goals. Still in New Canaan possession. Augustine. Some fancy footwork. But the defense rotates over to him. Callum Wood finds a man on the wing. It's Styles who's trying to stay aggressive. New Canaan gets the loose ball. Carter Connors looks for a teammate and then settles for Ryan Coyote.
New Canaan keeps sending cutters into the ball, as we just saw right there from Callum Wood, trying to get the ball off a cut, which has been working out pretty well for the New Canaan Rams offense. And if we keep that up, hopefully we can put some more points up on the board.
New Canaan tried to find Carter Connors right in front of a crease. Nick Styles with the bad pass, however, and it's a Rams turnover. Fairfield Ludlowe looking to get their first lead since it was 3-2 at the end of the first quarter. And can they nab it here in the late stages of this back-and-forth battle between FCAC rivals in the state tournament? Kyle McCarthy. Chad Russo defends him. He has been the star of this game, Kyle McCarthy. He leads all goal scorers with 4. Playing from X is Carr. Now back in front of the cage. Climb back. Moves right. Bad pass on the wing. It's loose. Both teams jabbing at it. Scrum developing near the right sideline, and Cooper Carr is going to come away with it for Ludlowe as a well-called timeout by Steve Sweat. Cooper Carr just able to nab the ball. And then a timeout to ensure possession with 6:23 left to go in this game. Let's get a look at some of the most recent highlights in the back-and-forth battle. Kyle McCarthy again. He's been very active, but so is Holden Busby.
Nick Styles with a nice dodge to his right hand. Down low. Coyote to Styles. Underhand shot just over the cage. And while we are here, let's take a look outside of high school lacrosse and go towards the college lacrosse. NCAA is UVA versus UNC right now. UVA is up 12-11 over UNC with 46 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That is the semifinals. One of 2, which are today. The second one is against is at 2:30 when Maryland plays Duke. Both on ESPN2. But let's focus on high school lacrosse.
78. Let's keep our viewers here, Chase. Let's not funnel them out to the masses.
While we have 6 minutes and 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter here. 7-7 game.
That it is. Ludlowe with the possession off a timeout from Coach Steve Sweat. Looking to retake the lead for the first time since the early stages of the second quarter. Pradicangeli gets a screen. Tightly guarded by Dylan Stevens. Pass mishandled and then scooped up by Kleinbeck. Vin Cognetta plays off of him on defense. Just over halfway down in this fourth quarter. Spinning around is McCarthy, and then the screener, Kieser, hits the floor. Kleinbeck moves right. Finds a teammate on the wing, puts up a turnaround shot, and it will not fall for Spencer. The ball will stay with the Falcons, however, thanks to Liam Kieser playing back. There he is in the middle of the shot. Kieser playing behind the cage. He'll bring it out in front. He's looking for a cutter. Now he spins inside and scores! Liam Kieser, but oh wait, is it a crease violation? It is! No goal for Liam Kieser. It will stay at 7-7. But that was dangerously close for the Rams, Chase. That could have easily been 8-7.
That would have been tragic for the New Canaan Rams. If that went in, that trickled in with only 5 minutes left in the game, down 1. Momentum has shifted into the Falcons' favor. That would have been a disaster, but luckily the luck bounced in New Canaan's favor, and now we are back on the other side of the field with Coyote trying to get one more tick on the board here.
That is the game plan. Trying to take their time and find the perfect shot to try to go ahead and win this opening round qualifying game. Chris Canaan, you know he wants to score. He's put up plenty of shots today. He has not gotten one to fall. Canaan with the spin. He'll shoot, and it's a beautiful save from Declan Kuhn. Excuse me, not Declan Kuhn. Murphy Hoy, who has been a force in goal all game for Fairfield Ludlowe. Holding the high-powered New Canaan Rams to just 7 goals all game. That is a pretty big accomplishment. And a shot of Chris Canaan, which is a very tough shot to guard. Ludlow's got it right back. On the wing, it's Spencer. Behind the cage, it's Carr. Carr moves left. Dylan Murray, the defense. Carr spins around, gets it to climb back in front of the cage. Again, the winner of this game, they advance to the first round of the state tournament. The loser, their season is over. It's an illegal screen on Ludlow, and it's going the other way. Vincognetta up to Braden Sweeney, who gets it across the timeline. Tommy Augustine with the ball for the Rams. Defended by Kuhn. Rams make some substitutions as Harry Apelt will check in. There's Ryan Coyote with it. Coyote moves left. Augustine loses it and calmly regathers. Stiles looks to make his move inside. He spins. The cutter is Callum Wood, and he's looking up in the air thinking, how did I not get that one?
Great stop there by Murphy Hoy.
Callum Wood cannot get to that pass from Nick Stiles. Good clear from Declan Kuhn, and a flag is thrown, presumably against New Canaan, and Ludlow could be man up, really, for the next minute, which would be such a boon for them in this tied game.
Sure would. That is going to be a hard way to fight off the last 2 minutes of this game, being down a man for 1 minute.
Kieser gets inside. He misses. Sorry to cut you off, as he's gotten close before from that spot.
Sure has.
All right, so it looks like
Offside, so it's a 30-second penalty.
offside is the call, as the PA man, Bill Brown, said it first up here in the box. 2:04 left to go in this game, and for half a minute, Ludlow will be man up. Not sure who the offsides call was on, as Declan Kuhn was clearing it, but it doesn't really matter at this point. It's up to Fairfield Ludlow to try to take the lead. Behind the cage, it's Jake Fraticangeli. Over to Colin McCarthy. Kieser swings one, and it's off the top bar. Cole Spencer could not get a man-up goal there. Just 5 seconds left of penalty on New Canaan, and they will get their extra player back in as they send in Vincognetta. New Canaan back to full strength defensively with under a minute and a half left. Climb back to his right. Bad pass. Dylan Stevens looking for it. He pushes it up the field. He finds Nick Stiles with 1:15, and instantly New Canaan's going to call a timeout. Dylan Stevens, he's one of your buddies, Chase. you're a freshman on the freshman team right now. He's a freshman on varsity because he's Dylan Stevens. He's a great player right now. What a big play for him there. Take us through the final few highlights of this game right now, and then talk a little bit on Dylan Stevens after that.
When they were man up, they shot there. Number 31, Cole Spencer. And Liam Kieser tries to break loose on Christian
And
Sweeney.
let's see there. Let's see. Yep, that left foot was right on the crease, and that's why they called it the crease violation on the no-goal. Canaan tries to put one in. Hoy says no. Kieser again looking for that same shot. Spins away from two defenders. This time, Busby was ready. And this last one, finding Spencer on the wing, and it deflects off Busby and the crossbar. New Canaan uses the timeout. Coach Chip Buzzio and offensive coordinator Bobby Rushton trying to draw up the perfect play with 1:14 left in this game as we will bring up the scoreboard in this 7-7 battle. Let's see who wins it. Will we go to an extra period, or will New Canaan get that goal here?
This is when New Canaan's offense should take their time and try and take out 30 seconds of the clock so they can score one goal with just a few seconds left, so they can't let the Falcons come back and make it a tied game if they capitalize. Apelt
behind the cage to Stiles, over to Augustine, now Callum Wood. Under a minute left, 45 seconds. Wood moves to his right, doesn't have anything. Coyote defended by Hathaway. Coyote moves right. He's going to shoot it. No. Defenders fall. They're scrambling in front of a cage to Apelt. It's loose, and Ludlow's going to get it. New Canaan can't capitalize, and Ludlow clears it thanks to Finn Hoy. Hoy up the field. Ludlow racing. This shot way too high from Fraticangeli. 14 and a half seconds left, and it will go right back to New Canaan. Can they race all the way down the field and score? The ball in the stick of Chris Canaan. Canaan cross midfield, 7 seconds. Up to Michael Norton, 4 seconds. Norton spins, 1 second. Canaan puts it up. Oh, just wide left. We're going to overtime. Get an extra period, folks. If you weren't invested in this game enough, make it an extra period in the Class L qualifying round. As we'll bring it back up to the booth here, Ian Nicholas and Chase Pinkernell. Been an exciting game. Heck, we thought this was, the exciting game already happened here today when New Canaan girls, they won the FCAC championship for the first time in years, since 1993. But this game is also interesting in its own right in the qualifying round. It states both teams had a chance late to potentially win it. Chase, take us through that last New Canaan possession and what went wrong, as they had plenty of time off the timeout, 1:14 to execute and score, and they couldn't.
Yeah, New Canaan had the ball. They had well possessed. They should have just taken their time and find the right shot, have a cutter, or just get the shot that they needed. They didn't need to pressure the ball as they had a minute left in the fourth quarter. So that was the mistake, but then they got lucky, and Chris Canaan got the ball back, and they tried to score, but they didn't capitalize. So now we have overtime to see what they can build next.
Yeah, and Coyote, it was interesting because he was driving right to the cage, and then two defenders fell down, and they had an opportunity in front of the cage for Harry Apel, and they couldn't find him.
Yeah, so mistakes happen, but we got to build off those mistakes, and that's what we're going to do here in overtime.
That is what New Canaan will hope to do. It's a 7-7 game. Put 4 more minutes on the clock for overtime. This is now the second overtime game that New Canaan will play in the last week. In fact, the last game they played, they lost in overtime, double overtime, to the Wilton Warriors in the FCAC quarterfinals on Monday. It brings back bad memories for New Canaan, and they're going to look to wash them away here, trying to win in overtime up against Fairfield Ludlowe. Next school wins. Whoever scores and makes it 8-7, they are the winner, and they are advancing to the first round of the state tournament on Wednesday, where they will play the 4-seed Cheshire. It's Cliver and Shin back for this face-off in a critical first
Biggest
possession.
face-off of the year.
Yeah.
False start on
Cliver. And it will go to New Canaan, who's moving from left to right. And again, instantly, timeout called for head coach Chip Buzzio. 6 seconds into overtime, as soon as his team got the possession, they got the ball. With this little break in the action, how about we pull up the state tournament bracket that we have and get a look at what the tournament will look like in the first round. And the FCAC teams that are included in it, you see at the top of the bracket, Darien, the 1 seed, the FCAC champions this year. They will play the winner of the Glastonbury-Trumbull game. Fairfield Prep and Greenwich, that may be the highlight game of the first round of a tournament between two really good teams. Again, Cheshire, they will play the winner of this game. Wilton, who lost to Staples in the FCAC semifinals on Wednesday, they will play either West Haven or Ward. Amity, out-of-conference team, will either play Bristol or Xavier, 2 out-of-conference teams. Hall, Newington Branford winner. Staples, the 3 seed and the runner-up in FCX this year, they'll play Ridgefield or Southington in the first round. And then Simsbury at the bottom of the bracket, they'll be matched up with either Newtown or New Milford. Let's go back to the field here. Again, New Canaan with the ball. What can they do off of it?
Let's see what Chris Connect can do here. They should just settle the ball down and look for that open lane in order to get the right shot and to tuck this bad boy away.
Callum Wood behind the cage. He's been known for his late game heroics this week. Could he be the one who adds the goal here? Or will it be Chris Connect looking for his first score? He moves right. He's pump faking and he does not shoot it. In front of the cage though, and it does not fall for Tommy Augustine. Augustine trampled in traffic and Ludlowe will take over. As number 18, Chloe O'Boyle gets the ball, and Ludlowe excited along the sideline as Coach Steve Sweat will call a timeout. Another blown opportunity for New Canaan Chase. And again, it feels a little rushed. They had the ball, and they really only 49 seconds of possession time. They moved it around a little bit. Connect with some hesitation. Wood tried to find Augustine, and it didn't work out.
I feel like the New Canaan offense gets under pressure, and when they get under pressure, they make these silly mistakes that they normally wouldn't make in a normal game, which really hurts them offensively because then they can't work the ball around and get the ball around the perimeter and score. So as a team, they struggle offensively in that manner. But hopefully they can get a nice stop here on defense, and we can get the ball and get another opportunity.
Also, a little bit of an update as Ridgefield in the Class L state tournament defeated Southington 20-1 in a blowout. So now Ridgefield will be matched up with Staples in the first round of a tournament. That should be a good game. Ridgefield losing in the semifinals to Darien 16-9. And Ridgefield's a good team. They're without their best player right now, Kai Prohaska, who has a broken wrist, but North Carolina-bound defender, who also takes face-offs for them, and they have struggled with face-offs since he's been out of the lineup. So that should be, like the Prep Greenwich game should be, one of the highlight games of the first round, Staples-Ridgefield. So Ludlowe now with the possession. Here's number 33, Will Geary, and 3 New Canaan players await him right in front of him as soon as play is resumed. Geary picks it up and swings it backward to Murphy Hoy, the goalie coming out. Ludlowe clears it successfully. Here's Finn Hoy. Colin McCarthy dumps it over to Kleinbeck, the freshman, who's played plenty today. Here's number 6, Jake Fradicangeli. Fradicangeli spins. Miscommunication. The ball goes to no one. Instead, it's picked up by Carr. Carr flips it up. Another bad pass. And it finds Vin Cognetta, who capitalizes and finds loose ball. New Canaan now in transition as Christian Sweeney's going to clear it. Under 2.5 minutes left to go in this overtime period. Tommy Augustine behind the cage, guarded by Declan Kuhn. Chris Kinnett with it once again. Ben Hoy on defense. Kinnett sprints right, looks for the shot, shoots, saved! Murphy Hoy again, impressing his Ludlow teammates. It's cleared by Zach Hathaway, and he moves it to Cooper Carr. Now under 2 minutes left in overtime, both teams exchanging blows and both teams responding. Here's Kieser, looking to wrap around, defended by Norton. Kieser in front of the cage, over to Kleinbeck. Now here's Fradicangeli, back to Kleinbeck. Under a minute and a half. Ken Ludlow upset New Canaan and advanced to the first round. Kleinbeck guarded by Stevens.
New Canaan's really pressing out on the Falcons offense here to make sure they can't get any shots in close on Busby.
Bad pass from Kleinbeck. Does not find Cole Spencer. Braden Sweeney finds the loose ball. Here's Holden Busby. Unforced error from Ludlow. The freshman Kleinbeck makes the bad pass. With under a minute left in overtime, will we go to another one? Connor Bailey on the move. He'll dump it off to the senior captain, Chris Kinnett. Still scoreless. Kinnett moves right. Dancing with Hoy. Kinnett over to Wood. 30 seconds. Ryan Coyote takes it out outside the 30. An offensive reset with just over 20 seconds left in overtime. Coyote moves left. He shoots. It's deflected on its way there. It's a loose ball now with 10 seconds. New Canaan's going to get it. Augustine has it with 6 seconds. 4, 2, 1. Double overtime again. For the second straight game, the New Canaan Rams will go to a second overtime period. After one 4-minute period, couldn't add an 8th goal for either squad. This is probably going to be the most interesting of the Class L qualifying round games. Let's look at the highlights from overtime. Really not any highlights from either team. Chase, just a lot of shots put on goal from New Canaan, but don't fall.
Nice pump fake by Chris Kinnett there. To Augustine, who fell into the crease. Another one here from Chris Kinnett. Tries to beat his defender. Nice save there.
From Hoy. And that's all she wrote, really. Those were the two quality looks that Kinnett had. And through 52 minutes of action, he is still scoreless. No assists, no goals. There's your New Canaan huddle, looking to keep their season alive. It's been an up and down year for New Canaan. After winning the FCAC championship in 2019, Coach Chip Buzzio, a talented squad this year, led by 9 college recruits, most of them seniors. All of them seniors. And they're looking to keep their season alive. They're looking to make sure this isn't the last game they play on Dunning Field as a unit. We've got 40 seconds left to go till double overtime. Ian Nicholas, Chase Pinkernell, and the rest of the NCTV 78 crew bringing you the live action of this Class L qualifying round state tournament game between the 13 seed, the New Canaan Rams, and the 20 seed, the Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons. The Rams looking to snap their 3-game losing streak and advance to the first round on Wednesday. Ludlow looking to pick up their 10th win on the year and do the same thing. It will be Cliver and Shin back at the face-off.
This is another huge face-off. This will get offensive possession, the winner of this draw, and that will lead to that team having offensive possession and trying to capitalize and get a goal to win this game.
Cliver had a false start on the first face-off of overtime and the only face-off. Now here we're in double overtime. Let's see what happens. No false start. It's Cliver and Shin right in the middle.
Looks like Shin has a little bit more of the ball, and he does, and he rips it out.
Exactly right. But he doesn't get the loose ball, and that's really all that matters, as shoved out of bounds was Will Geary, but before he was, a timeout was called by Steve Sweat. So Ludlowe wins the opening possession, and do they have enough in them to score a double overtime goal? New Canaan lost 8-7 in 2 overtimes on Monday. Will the same happen here, or will they win by the same score and the same amount of extra periods? Chase, they're in a tough spot right now after losing that faceoff, and a really heads-up play from Will Geary to track down that loose ball.
That is right, Ian. Actually, the last time this happened, second overtime on Monday against Wilton, we called a timeout, but and then we put too many men in, and we got a flag down, and that's what led us to a disaster on the offensive side of things from the Wilton side. So if we just can sustain and stay mentally tough as a team, we can come out on top, hopefully turn over the ball from the Ludlowe Falcons, and we can get back on the offensive side of things and try and get one more goal.
Yes, New Canaan that was a mistake they made on Monday, and off the Ludlowe timeout, they hope they don't make the same mistake.
I hope not. That would not be a bright thing.
That would not be the best for Coach Sweat and company. That probably won't happen. Let's see. Off the timeout, it will be Colin McCarthy, the leading goal scorer for Ludlowe today with 4 goals. He's been great throughout. Could he be the one that advances Ludlowe to the next round? Or maybe it's the freshman, John Kleinbeck, who threw a ball away on Ludlow's last possession in the previous overtime period. Vin Cognetta on defense. Kleinbeck dodges right, gets a little free, and then defense from Dylan Murray pushes him away. McCarthy drifts to his left, guarded by Chad Russo. Kleinbeck, little size up. Gets it over to Carr. Carr with a move to the left. On the wing, and mishandled by Cole Spencer. He gets there. Fradicangeli playing from X. And now, so is Spencer. Just under 3 minutes left in his second overtime period. Spencer with size up. And back over to Fradicangeli with the Sales commit. Dylan Stevens for defense. In front of the cage, the shot will go, and Ludlowe will advance to the next round thanks to Liam Kieser. This game is over in 2 overtimes.
Wow.
Liam Kieser is going to end the game. His second goal of the game and the biggest of his varsity career to this point. Let's get one more look. Off the assist from Fradicangeli.
What a shot. Wow. Right over the hip, or right over the shoulder of Holden Busby to end off the season for the New Canaan Rams. Devastating loss.
After losing to New Canaan in the Rams' home opener last month, Ludlowe comes back to New Canaan in a game where a lot of people probably assumed the Rams would advance. Let's be honest. And Ludlowe comes in and stuns them. The 20 seed. And they win 8-7. Liam Kieser, the game-winning goal with 2:01 left in double overtime. A very disappointing loss of the year for New Canaan. 4 straight losses. 1 in the SCAC tournament and now 1 in the state tournament, and both of them went to 2 overtime. That's a heartbreaking end of the year for the Rams. Hard fought to the very end. Take us through the last play and how Kieser got there.
It was just a hard fought battle between the Falcons offense and just a team play. They've been playing as a team throughout this whole game, and I really think that was the difference between New Canaan and the Falcons today. It's just a team play, working it through the whole entire defense of the New Canaan Rams. They worked it around the perimeter, made sure everyone got a touch, and then He came out on top, got the shot right above Holden Busby's right shoulder, tucked it away. New Canaan Rams season is officially over.
That it is for Coach Chip Buzzio and his squad. They will end the year 10-8, 4 straight losses to end their season, all against FCAC opponents, Darien, Staples, Wilton, and now in double overtime, Fairfield Ludlowe. Ludlowe is now 10-8 themselves after losing in the FCAC semi-quarterfinals, on Monday. They will now go on the road to play Cheshire, the 4th seed, in the first round of the Class L state tournament on Wednesday. I want to thank my phenomenal crew for the great work they've done all day long, starting with our 10:30 FCAC Girls Championship game and then going to the game that we have now in the state tournament. I want to thank my replay man, Austin Platt, my 2 camera operators for this game, Sydney Sibilia and Perrin Tomasco. I want to thank my producer, Emily Fox, fighting through the elements each of the last 2 days. Not an easy thing to do. I want to thank Chase Pinkernell for calling games with me all season. And I want to thank my advisor, Roman Sobolski, the athletic director, Jay Egan, the PA man, Bill Brown. Thanks so much for watching our Boys Lacrosse live streams this year. This will most likely be our last one, unless a game is hosted here on Dunning Field that does not involve the New Canaan Rams, as New Canaan will end their year 10-8, losing in both the first rounds of FCACs and states. Ian Nicholas signing off. Thank you so much for your viewership. Before we go, let's get one last look at our sponsors. Our platinum sponsors, Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market, and Rambuya and Harrow, the business of real estate. Want to thank our gold sponsor, Club Sandwich. Our silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners, and Rand Insurance. And lastly, our black sponsors, Ready Rooster, Shilaga, 84 Sports New Canaan, the New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, the Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, and Prudding and Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Now, before we head out, we do want to pull up the Class L State Tournament graphic one more time, because now we have a bit of an updated look. As you see in the middle of your screen, Cheshire will now be playing Fairfield Ludlowe in the second round. And we do have some updates for the qualifying round. Glastonbury defeat an FCAC team, Trumbull, 14-7. Xavier blew the doors off of Bristol in a bit of an upset, 18-3. We already talked about Ridgefield smoking Southington, 20-1. We now have the final from New Canaan Ludlowe. Ludlowe winning 8-7 in double overtime. Another FCAC team, Fairfield Ward, they upset West Haven, 21-5. Newtown beat New Milford, 13-8, and Newington won a close one against Brantford East Haven, 7-6. So all the qualifying games are now over, and now the first round games will be Darien Glastonbury, Prep Greenwich, Cheshire Ludlowe, Wilton Ward, Amity Xavier, Hall Newington, Staples Ridgefield, and Simsbury Newtown. So that is the deal. And Staples Ridgefield, of course, that's going to be a big-time game. Well, that's it for the New Canaan Boys Lacrosse season. Once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning into our Boys Lacrosse live streams this year. It's been a great ride with the team that fell short in the end today, but had a couple of hard-fought battles to end their season. The Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons, the 20 seed in the Class L tournament, upsetting the 13 seed of the New Canaan Rams. This is their last game of the year. It's the seniors' last game of the year, so we want to congratulate them on a terrific career and for another year in the books for Coach Chip Buzzio and his team. In double overtime, Fairfield Ward pulls off the stunner and will advance to play Cheshire. Ian Nicholas signing off. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Stay warm, and we will see you sometime next week, maybe on Tuesday, for a girls lacrosse live stream of their first round state tournament game.